Century Farm. My name's Maria, and this is officially my second video, so bear with me. I'm going to try to make it a little less shaky than the first one. So we are actually getting ready to kind of revamp my food forest. We're going to get in there and clean it up. It's Project Food Forest Cleanup. So we're going to be putting cardboard in the walkways. It's just wild right now. I've got peppermint growing in the walkways. I've got strawberries growing in the walkways. I've got volunteer sunflowers, zinnias, basils, you name it. It's a wild forest right now. So before we go and clean it up and give it a makeover, I want to take you guys on a tour of my food forest and kind of show you what it looks like in its wild state. Before we go on the food forest tour though, I've got to show you something that happened today. So I told you for about the past month, there's been a neighbor pig that's been coming over, just walking through the yard. And for the last couple of weeks, I have been feeding it some bread. I've been feeding it. Well, it found a way to actually come into my barnyard area where I keep my chickens and ducks. So this neighbor pig, it's a little potbelly pig, it found a way to get into under the fence right here. So it's kind of been coming and going as it pleases. It goes under the fence, it sleeps, it eats, it gets belly rubs, and then it leaves when it's done. It just goes back under the fence over in the back corner. So this has been going on for a couple of weeks now, where the pig just comes and goes. Well, today it brought a friend. It actually brought a little goat, a white baby goat, who followed the pig under the hole here. So now I have a black potbelly pig in my barnyard, and I have a little white goat. Let me show you. I guess they like it over here. And guys, this is my second video here, and I'm going to start posting regularly. I'm going to try every day, every other day, just so I can get the hang of it. I've never done this before, so I appreciate you guys understanding that and being patient. Before we go into my jungle of a food forest, I wanted to show you the back garden here and how good everything's doing. There's some pumpkin and some moon and stars watermelon. We've got some okra, zucchini. Most of these plants are doing pretty good back here. And we've got a baby watermelon. Super excited about that. So this back garden here is doing pretty good, pretty happy. And then my market garden up here, doing pretty good as well. So like I was saying, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I've got so much more to share. So hang in there. Let's go take a look at the food forest. All right, guys, welcome to my food forest, which is kind of a jungle right now. So the one thing that you're going to notice is volunteers everywhere. I've got volunteer sunflowers like crazy. I've got volunteer basil, actually about 3 different kinds of basil. Right here you'll see just an ocean of holy basil. Got my asparagus. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing Project Food Forest Cleanup. And I went and got some cardboard, some real big pieces of cardboard that will actually be laying down in all these walkways. The walkways are just grown over right now. And we're also going to be taking down dozens of sunflowers. The sunflowers came in full force. They're actually shading out all the different plants that are underneath them. So we're going to have to remove some of those. Here's a volunteer basil, surrounded by volunteer pineapple ground cherries, right in the walkway. Now the peppermint is also growing into the walkway. The peppermint is unstoppable. Give you another look of the strawberries when you first walk in. We've got some yarrow. I've got a nectarine tree. And I also have some grapes that I hope are going to grow over the arch. Here's some random tomato plants that are actually doing really good. Now you can hear the little goat in the background. Here's some echinacea, some oregano, and we've got some more pineapple ground cherries. The pineapple ground cherries, I don't understand. I had 2 plants last year, and now I've got dozens of plants coming up in all other areas. I've got tomato plants throughout the entire food forest. Oh, and look, more ground cherries. The tomato plants out here in the food forest, they seem to be doing really good. We haven't had any ripe tomatoes yet. Over here, we've got some zinnias that are getting ready to open. They should be open any day now. And these are also volunteers. I know I sound crazy, but almost everything is a volunteer. There's a sunflower, which I did not plant. There's a sunflower, which I did not plant. The sunflowers are everywhere. They're still coming up. I've got lots of different tomato plants here. And there's cucumbers on the back trellis there. I've got a carrot patch, and as you can see, there's weeds. There's grass, there's weeds. This has definitely not been micromanaged. I don't think I would enjoy gardening if I had to worry about every single weed and every single walkway. That's one of the best parts about having the food forest, is it's kind of wild. I just let things come back. Here's some oregano. And there's a big patch of grass. And this is a good example of why we're doing Project Food Forest Cleanup. Like I said, we're going to really distinguish the walkways in here. We're going to clean up this hugel bed area that has been just invaded by sunflowers. Got a lot of carrots growing underneath it, which it's probably time to harvest the carrots. I've got some melons growing up the trellis. So many sunflowers. Now I've got some lettuce back here. Some of it's going to seed, which is okay. I'll let it come back this fall, next spring. I'll basically never have to plant lettuce again. So the next time you see this food forest, you're not even going to recognize it. And here we've got the battle between strawberries and peppermint. The peppermint, like I said before, there's just no stopping it. We could drink peppermint tea for the rest of our lives. And the same is true with the strawberries. The strawberries send out runners, and they just keep on going too. These are going out into the walkway. These are Ozark Beauty strawberries. I think I started out with 3 or 4 plants, and now they're completely taking over the food forest. Here's some more peppermint. We've got some more cucumbers back here on this wall. And believe it or not, we've got some more sunflowers. It's hot. I waited till later on in the day, thinking that maybe it would cool off a little bit. It's in the low 90s right now with 1,000% humidity. Standing here sweating, actually. Here's a lemon balm. It's doing really good. I planted some lemon thyme here last year, and it looks like it's struggling a little bit. And up against this back fence here, I do have a grapevine. We actually have five different grapevines. Grapes do really good here. I'm in zone 7B, Southwest Missouri, the beautiful Ozarks. We've got some more tomato plants. Now in front of these tomatoes, we've got 3 rows of peppers, which as you can see are doing fantastic. I've got random volunteer basil plants that are coming up everywhere, which I think is a good companion plant for the peppers. Maybe that's why they're doing so good. So I'm just letting the basil come up. Here's an example of that. I wish I could just show you everything in one video. And here's more sunflowers. You currently really can't even see underneath all of these sunflowers, but there is a hugel bed, and I've got various things growing on it. There's nasturtiums, there's leeks, we've got some lettuce. Here's some more cucumbers. These are muncher cucumbers. Climbing up this trellis. We've got some okra. We've got some kale up there, dinosaur kale. Some red Russian kale. Looks like we've got a zucchini. So guys, I've kind of mentioned it before. We're redoing the entire chicken yard. This front area right here in front of the camera, this is their old chicken yard. Now they still have access to it for now. And we put up a fence back here. You can see the gate here. So this will be the front of the new chicken yard. And all this old yard, we're gonna take it down. So that'll be the front. And it does go 100 feet back. We're actually building a new chicken coop back there as well. I don't know if you can see him building it right now. Well, it looks like the little goat found my sheep. Poor little thing. I gotta find out where this goat comes from. Alright, sorry you guys. I realized that the external microphone that I was using was making it all crackly, and it sounds horrible. So I'm gonna try to finish this without the external mic. Hopefully you can hear me. And the little goat is still here. Nobody has come to claim it. I think I have a pretty good idea what house it comes from. The goat and the pig. I've got a pretty large raised pepper bed here, and they're loaded. I know it's kind of hard to see in here, but I've got little peppers coming. Little peppers everywhere. Here's what's left in the raised onion bed. And it looks like there's a lot that are laying down and need to be harvested. And then I'll show you the other onion bed as well. And here's the other onion bed. And this one, these are starting to lay down some more of these as well. So I grew extra onions this year. I wanted to make sure I had enough. This will be my first time trying to store onions, to actually dry them out and store them. If you guys have any tips on storing onions, I would love to hear about them. And yesterday we actually pulled out a bunch of our onions that were laying down, and there's still quite a few to go. But I've got them hanging on this piece of fencing. I saw this idea on YouTube. Quite a few onions, and like I said, we've got a lot more to go too. So stay tuned for the next video, guys. I'm going to be doing some cleanup in the food forest. We're going to be laying down the cardboard. We're going to be saying goodbye to several of these sunflowers. And I'd like to introduce you to some of my animals and get better at filming videos. So guys, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this video at all, give me a thumbs up. And again, I apologize for the audio. I apologize for the shakiness. This is very new to me, but I'm gonna master it, guys. So keep an eye out for my next video, and thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. The best is yet to come.